football, when you get to the red zone, you are within 20 yards of scoring. Well, in Scripture, everything that Jesus says is in red. The idea is that when we follow the words of Christ, we get closer to success in the kingdom and in our personal lives. If we'll stop doing what folks say and do what Jesus said, things might be just a little bit different. Trusting through transition. Trusting through transition. You're only in transition if you're going somewhere. So the good news of transition is that you're heading somewhere. There is a destination. You may not know where it is, you don't know how close it is, how far it is, but the good news is you are progressing somewhere. There's somebody in the building today who's in employment transition. Job you used to have that took care of all the needs and didn't have any issues, didn't have any worries. Well, that job has come to an end. Now we're waiting for something else to open up, waiting for God to create some kind of other avenue, but it hadn't quite happened yet. But you're in transition. The amazing part of transition is that if you trust in transition, you get to see a side of God you never saw before. Because it wasn't until you weren't getting checks that you understood that the checks weren't taken care of. It wasn't until the first and the 15th didn't need anything that you finally discovered that you didn't need the first and the 15th for the Lord to take care of you. The Lord has the ability to handle us in transition. So somebody's in employment transition, but maybe somebody today is in a relationship transition. Yeah. The one you used to be, hooked up with, the boobies, the one that was close, the one that kept you turned up, the one that you and he or you and her, y'all consistently and constantly connected. Destined to be cosmically, divinely ordered to spend the rest of your lives together. Well, suddenly you discovered that Prince was actually a fraud. Or maybe you discovered that lady that you trusted in really was cleaning you out. And now the relationship that used to be so strong has now ended. But you are also now find yourself in a season of singleness. Because you know you can't go back to that fool, but you don't know where the Lord is taking you to. You are in betwixt and between in a relationship trend. Okay, maybe that's not you. Maybe Maybe you're not in employment transition. Maybe you're not dealing with relationship transition. Maybe your transition is a financial transition. Maybe you don't come up from where you came from. Now we up in the big leagues. 3 deluxe apartment in the sky. You came from the hood, but the hood made you who you are. And now you're finding yourself progressing from where you came from. You're not quite where you're going, but you know that you can't stay there. You're in transition. You know what? There might be a joker in here. Just might be. Might be somebody in here dealing with a church transition. You're in church transition. Yep. Place you grew up in and place you started with was doing just fine, was doing just well. Matter of fact, it was so routine, it was so monotonous that you could sit in the chair, you could push play, and you knew exactly what was going to happen at every moment of the service. At every moment of the service, you knew exactly what was going to take place. You could tell it, and you could say who was going to shout, who was going to pass out, who was going to go around. You knew how many times it was going to do. You knew everything about the service. And that was cool. That was cool until you started growing. And then you started growing in God, and what happened is you outgrew the environment you were in before. Now you understand, I can't go back there, but I don't know where the Lord is taking me. I'm in transition. I'm in the Bible. Verse 34. Verse 43 says that there was a woman in the crowd. This is how they describe her. She's a woman in the crowd. She had spent all she had and found no cure. She's in the crowd, but not connected to the crowd. Remember, she's hiding. She's blended in, but she's not a part of them. She understands that I've got to stay solo in this season because the last time I connected with other people who I thought could help me, they took all my money. I'm in the book. The doctors took all of her money and she could not find a cure. Can I tell you that the best thing for transition sometimes is to ride solo? Sometimes the best thing when you're in between seasons It's the Sydney Cole do the two-step, you understand? Can I dance? No, baby, I'm good. I got this. Sometimes when you're in a season of transition, you hook up with too many folk and you blow what God has for you because you connect yourself to foolishness by walking by sight and not by faith. Y'all don't like me today, do you? I'm trying to help you. You don't need a bunch of help to get here. You gotta find your way through the crowd. She touches him in faith alone and gets her issue settled. What's the amazing part for me is that when she gets healed, nobody